All right, today I'm going to teach you how to play Spookies, which is a press your luck dice game for families designed by Haba. This game can play 2 to 5 players, and it plays in about 30 minutes or less. This is the board, and these are the character pawns, and these are the points. These are the spooky points. The points go in range from 1, 2, 3, or 5. There's more 1s than there are 5s, obviously. And there are 4 number dice, and there's 1 character dice. You aren't any specific character in the game. In the beginning, everybody's going to start outside of the gate over here. And these characters are really cool because there's a front side and a back side to them, which is a really neat thing that Haba has done. And also there are 75 point chips depending on how many players you have in the game. They do recommend removing some point chips to make for a shorter game. So in a 2-player game, you're going to remove 25 chips. In a 3-player game, you're going to remove 15 chips. And in a 4 or 5-player game, you use all 75 chips. So all the chips are going to be face down. And you never really look at the point values that you have on your chips until the end of the game. So, at the start, you're going to choose a character die. You're going to roll the character die, and then it's going to show a character. So, the character, not only do they match in, obviously, the artwork, but also the color, so just in case you don't see that. So, I'm sending this person into the haunted house. Now, the first level that I have to do is I have to be able to get 5 or more. Now, I can roll these dice to try to get 5 or more. I can always choose to roll either 2, 3, or 4 dice. If I roll 2 dice, then I get however many spooky points that is listed in the first column. If I roll 3 dice, then I get what's in the second column, and if I roll all 4 dice to try to advance, then I will get the number that's in the third column. So obviously in this first round, it's probably beneficial for me just to roll 2 dice so that I can get at least 1 point, and 2 dice, I'm trying to get 5 or more. It's probably going to be pretty easy. So I did it, and I get 9. So I move up, and I score 1 spooky point. Again, I don't look at that. Now, I can choose to go on to the next level, or I can choose to stop. Now, if I want to go on to the next level, again, I choose at this time if I want to roll 2, 3, or 4 dice. I can make a different choice between different levels, and I can again choose to roll. Let's just say I wanted to roll 3 dice this time. Now, when I roll 3 dice, I don't sum all 3 of the dice. I only take the 2 highest dice, and then that's the total that I use to see if I can go higher. So I rolled an 11, which is greater than 6, so I move up to the next level. And make sure you note that you only move up 1 level at a time. Even though I rolled an 11, I can't just jump all the way up to the top. I am only moving 1 space at a time. So I rolled an 11, and I used 3 dice, which means that I take the points listed there. So it's another 1 spooky point. Again, I can stop or I can keep going. If I stop, I keep these spooky points. They're mine. I don't have to worry about losing them. If I rolled and I didn't make it, then any points that I'd earned this round would be lost. Okay. On later turns, because as we go on, these characters will be at different levels in the house. And again, you only control the character the round that you're in, depending on what die you roll. So let's just say I roll this green character. He is up here at level 9. Now, as you can see, the rewards get higher and higher depending on how high you're getting. So let's say I decide I'm going to try to do this using just 2 dice to try to get 9 or higher using that character. So I did not do it. I got a 7. So what happens then is that the difference in levels, essentially, that I had, so I rolled a 7, which means I need to drop down to level 7. So 1, 2. So because I dropped 2 levels, I have to take 2 of the spooky points that I had earned previously, and then I place them on that space. So in a future turn, if another character made it up there, and then they rolled just 2 dice, they can choose to roll 3 or 4 dice in order to move up higher and score whatever points listed there and there. But if they want to collect any of the spooky points that I left behind, they need to be able to beat this level with only 2 dice. So if they do that, it's a push your luck mechanic there, because you hopefully will get it, and if you do, then you get this bigger reward essentially. The game, if you ever get to this top level, again, you can choose to roll 2, 3, or 4 dice, and you can continue to do that over and over and over again, potentially scoring points, or you can choose to stop. So if I manage to make it up there, and I roll my 3 dice, and I got an 11, so that's great. 3 dice gets me 6 points. I can just choose to go again if I want. If I don't go again, this character stays up there, and they'll be there in case somebody rolls that character on another turn, and they, can keep playing the same game as it's been going. That is basically it. Whenever all of the spooky chips are gone, whenever there's no more in the supply, then the game is over. So even if there is a bunch of chips strewn about on the board, it doesn't matter. It just matters if the supply is empty. So once the supply is empty, then we tally up. Everybody flips over their spooky points. We tally up whoever has the most points, and the most points wins. If you want, you can try a more tactical game where you don't use the character die, and you can just choose any character you want to make your roll. So that allows you to kind of, make your decisions a little bit easier. And that's all. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks.